We're now on the racetrack for the Baja 1000.
The Baja 1000 is the world's longest, non-stop, point-to-point off-road race in the world. It allows a variety of vehicles, from trophy trucks to side-by-sides, the famous Class 11 with Volkswagen Beetles, and of course, motorcycles. The class I like to keep my eye on the most is the Ironman class. You see, normally, riders are on a team and take turns riding sections of the race to bring the bike to the finish line. But for the Ironman class, a single rider must take on the entire length of the course themselves. No tagging in a buddy to ride any of the sections. Every minute and every mile is done by one rider and on one motorcycle. It is a battle of endurance, one where the body will fail, and is the ultimate test to one's mental fortitude. This year's race was an 828-mile loop that would start and finish in Ensenada. Each entry has 36 hours to finish the race. Of the 276 entries, more than half wouldn't complete it.
We just found out that they actually technically start further out than in downtown Ensenada. So we'll have to kind of go a little further out to get some good spots to catch the race. But that's okay, we'll figure it out as we go along. Now we're gonna head downtown to check out the festivities. Down at the Baja area.
So we're downtown at the unofficial start end of the race, and festivities are already going. The first vehicles, which are going to be the motorcycles, take off in, it's like 10 hours from now. So it's a long time until anything actually happens. But we're just on the coast here watching the sunset. It's very pretty. Very beautiful in Baja. So we're currently getting food. We still have quite a few hours, I think about 5 hours till the race starts. The race starts with the motorcycles. But that gives us time to make a plan for what we're gonna do tomorrow to see the race. There's two riders we're keeping an eye on. Tanner Janeski, whom you might be familiar with from the Into the Dust movies. He's shooting for the podium. And Brian England, a first-timer attempting the Baja 1000 with hopes of making it to the finish line. But our plan to stay up all night quickly fell apart.
It's 9 o'clock at night. As you can see, it now has died here actually, down at the starting point for the Baja 1000. So Chris and I are gonna go back to our hotel. We're gonna get a little rest, do some preparation. We're gonna come back down at 2 in the morning. We're gonna ride the bike so that way after all the motorcycles leave, we can actually go out and to one of the stopping points on the racetrack and actually catch maybe some of the bikes, but mainly more of the trophy trucks coming in.
First, I had to fix a bike issue that appeared as soon as I got to Ensenada. Just riding around another country while having bike issues, no big deal. Oh, and of course the thing is starting to do it now. I gotta pull over. I don't know what's going on. Bet you that's the problem.
The speed sensor, ABS sensor, it was loose and it was rubbing up against the disc brake and it wore through it, which is why his traction control was kicking on because it's kind of going haywire. So I've taped it up with electrical tape. We're hoping that's going to solve the problem. And then I'm just going to re-put on my quad lock so I can have my phone as well as the GPS so that we can hit the road in a couple hours and And I guess we'll go from there. I got it going around the brake line, so hopefully it can't like touch this brake at all.
In the middle of the night, while most of North America was sleeping, the motorcycles were preparing for the monumental task ahead of them. If they wanted to make it back to Ensenada to cross the finish line, they would have to survive over 800 miles of Baja abuse.
Our 775 out of Hurricane, Utah on his KTM. Riding for Air Systems, Seal Savers, Fast Company, Decal Works.
Tanner on the 775X took off into the night. Brian on the 762X was next to start his race. One by one, they took off into the night. It's one thing to ride at night. It's a whole other thing to be racing off-road into the darkness. And the racers weren't the only ones up at this hour. The course was already lined with spectators who were ready to see them take on the desert. The sun rose in Baja, making it easier for the motorcycles to ride faster, and they would need to because the monsters that are the trophy trucks would soon be starting their race. And these trucks, they don't take prisoners. We're talking purpose-built race trucks with 3 feet of suspension travel, 1,100 horsepower ripping through the desert landscape, leaving a dust trail in their wake. One wrong move and they could easily kill spectators on the side of the road. But with a tank full of confidence, these drivers send it. These trucks, they can fly. We got off to a late start, heading to Ojos Negros, which was the first pit stop. The problem being, we had our own race to beat the trophy trucks to the crossing. We stumbled on other Americans asking if we really had come all the way from South Carolina before traversing curvy mountain roads east of Ensenada.
Looks like we didn't beat the trucks.
The biggest thing I was warned about being in Baja for the race was the support vehicles on the road.
Oh, fuck people.
Many people said that the road was actually more dangerous than the race course.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where it's starting to get chaotic and what I was getting nervous about. Well, this is our own Into the Dust. The amount of helicopters is insane. It's like mosquitoes.
We played it safe and sat in the traffic, but for many of the pit crews, they didn't have time to waste.
I think that's the move.
Denim, you want to make that move? Oh yeah, we're making the move. Attaboy. Look at all these idiots.
These idiots stopped to remove some layers.
Yep.
Then we continued east to the next pit stop.
Well, we found our way to the Baja 1000.
The race course isn't closed to non-racers, so you can make your way down it and find a good spot to watch.
Definitely wear earplugs if you're going to be out on the racetrack.
That's it.
So, I don't know if racetracks are right, it's really race course.
Race course, yeah.
If you needed to cross the race course, just wait until it gets quiet.
Coming.
We watched for a while, but eventually we decided to head back to Ensenada before it got dark.
Oh no. Ready to eat?
Ready to eat.
Drinking a Tecate after watching some of the Baja 1000. I made some chorizo pasta. It's very good.
While we were enjoying the meal, the sun was setting on Baja, but the race went on. The vehicles still in it had a long night ahead of them. And for the motorcycles, the trophy trucks were gonna make it a dangerous night. Crews scrambled to keep their vehicles in the race. The sheer will of the determined shined through. Anything to keep the racers in the fight. The spectators don't quit either, and many celebrate throughout the night, which works well for an Ironman, so they can stop and warm up by a fire. When the sun rose the next morning, those still able continued towards the finish line. They were now in a race against time. Buenos dias. We're at the ceremonial start-finish line, and we're just hanging out, watching people come in, chill, and picking up the vibe. Having some cervezas. Riders started getting in last night before he went to bed. The first motorcycle got in first, and then the Ironman started getting in when we were sleeping. Curious to see if Tanner got first or second. He was the second Ironman to show up, but with time adjustments and all that, I think he might be first, so we got our fingers crossed for him, and enjoying the nice sunshine here in Ensenada.
I'm drying the steak, but it keeps falling down.
The finish line was very busy. Crowds gathered to see racers arrive, while those that already finished were celebrating, and those that didn't make it had vehicles to fix for next year.
All right, great job, buddy. Safe travels home. Well, you'll be back.
So, in the huerto, I think, is octopus, camarón, shrimp, pescado, fish.
We have a visitor.
What up?
He's like, gonna eat it, gonna eat it, gonna eat it. Oh, you're getting brave there, buddy. You're getting brave. I don't remember what I ate, but it wasn't octopus.
Seriously, I need a fork. Tastes like pork rinds. Yeah, really good.
It's not warm, but we're still here.
Yep.
How you feeling? You just finished the Baja 1000.
Tanner already finished with a possible first place in the Ironman class. Won't know until tomorrow. It sounds like he probably has first unless he has some fractions.
Getting towards the tail end of vehicles coming in. I think the last of the trophy trucks just came in. We got some more like buggy kind of car vehicles, and let's see if any more VW bugs make it to the finish line in time. It's been a very rough year apparently for Baja this year. For the Baja 1000, they've had some rains and storms that really, I guess, sort of tore up the ground quite a lot. So it's, from what we hear, it's a really, really tough year this year at Baja. And it looks like it. Some of, like one of the guys that was probably the last Ironman that made it across, oh man, you could tell he was just exhausted, just beat.
Go get some ibuprofen and a beer, will you?
But he's been riding since yesterday morning at about 3 a.m. So, and it was about 5 o'clock p.m. today. So he was riding for well over 24 hours. That sounds exhausting.
Good job. Let's hear it one more time for the Ironman. $7.99X and Ironman. Let's hear it. Ironman. That's the old school cool, the hardest way around this course. Congratulations for getting it done. It takes a lot of heart.
And it did take a lot of heart, even just to start the race. Baja tested all of the Ironmen with an extremely difficult course. But both Tanner and Brian prevailed. They had survived the trucks and the desert. Tanner accomplished what he set out for, winning first place in the Ironman class, and Brian made it to the finish line in his first attempt. Despite the difficulties, battered and bruised, they made it to the finish line and snatched a Baja 1000 medal. Now for Caitlin and I, it was time to embark on our own Baja adventure.